Good evening. At 11 o'clock, it wasn't exactly the anti-drug message that was causing the problem in Vista tonight, but it was how the message was presented. A program against drug abuse and other topics of special concern to teenagers and their parents was tentatively planned, but church members jammed the Vista School Board meeting to say no. Jim Wilkerson has that story. Jim?
Well, Carol, it was really not a night for meaningful dialogue. Nobody's mind was going to be changed. Church members are not buying the message, even if it's a good message, because they don't want anything to do with the messenger. The New Image Theater Group has won an Emmy in children's programming. They've turned out skits against drugs and peer pressure and other topics for 6 years at many schools, churches, and other places. So why then is the Vista School Board meeting packed with parents against New Image, possibly doing skits against drugs, peer pressure, and suicide at Vista High? Because Planned Parenthood sponsors New Image.
I stand as firmly against Planned Parenthood as I would a communist trying to come in and teach our students something that may be very good, but just because of the sponsor, I would be against it, because I know that they would have their ideology behind it.
An officer for Planned Parenthood was mystified over the criticism of the skits that had not been seen yet.
I think a lot of times people are fearful of what they're ignorant about, and I think when they see the tapes, they will see that Planned Parenthood has a good message for teens.
The teenage actors are equally surprised.
I think our messages are really strong and they're important for teenagers to hear. Like, teenagers have a lot of pressure, and what New Image does is say it's all right to say no to drugs, it's all right to say no to sex.
But it's not the message, it's the messengers. Members of the Mission Evangelical Church don't want the schools to have anything to do with anything Planned Parenthood sponsors. There were a few dissenters, however.
I think if the skits are good, regardless of who the sponsor is, they should be shown to the children.
Strongly resent using this school district as a battleground against Planned Parenthood.
The school board and the public will have a chance to view samples of the New Image skits next Wednesday morning at 10 at Vista High. But that won't change too many minds here.
Key issue here is if a positive message about drugs or suicide or peer group pressure is sponsored by Planned Parenthood, teenagers will have a false positive view of Planned Parenthood, and then when they get into sexual trouble, they go off to the Planned Parenthood clinic, and that's why we don't want those kids in Vista High School.
These fundamentalists accuse Planned Parenthood of distributing literature that they say encourages a liberal sexual attitude in our teenagers. That's why they say they are adamantly opposed